want to hear you. It is so great to be back in town with my good friend and our next Vice President, Tim Walz. So we are taking this bus all across Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania because together we're going to win this thing. Today I want to tell you why I'm in this fight and what's at stake. I want to take a moment and ask yourself why you are here right now. Just think about it. What's at stake? Who your why is, what your why is. My why is my two daughters. I want them to have every opportunity to succeed and have the freedom to live their own lives under their terms. Yeah. I know that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz will work hard every day to make our country a better place for them and for all of our children and their generation. Because they have proposed plans to lower costs, grow our economy, and protect fundamental freedoms. From building 3 million homes to tax relief for 100 million working and middle-class families. In-home care for seniors on Medicare, to protecting women's rights, workers' rights, and LGBTQ+ rights. There is a seat at the Walz and Harris table for every one of us in this country. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz have lived normal lives like ours. They get what we've been through. And that's why they're fighting for us. Donald Trump doesn't get you or your life at all. Do you think he's ever had to put off a car repair until he could afford it? I mean, do you think he's got a driver's license? You think he's ever scanned a coupon to save a couple of bucks when he was checking out of the grocery store? You think he's ever been in a grocery store? You think he ever sat down in front of 3 bills knowing he could only pay 1 or 2 of them? He only cares about himself, and he will say anything to get himself elected. As president, he will leave us behind just like he did before. Now, we here in the Midwest, we know about his record of broken promises, right? The Midwest is best and the world's got to learn, right? We know. Trump claimed he would save American manufacturing. On this issue, and like so many others, he was all talk. During his 4 years in office, more than 200,000 jobs were shipped overseas. He said not one auto plant would close. The truth, 6 did. He even suggested that auto manufacturing move out of the Midwest into anti-union states. Trump loves to praise Elon Musk and his non-union EV plants in Texas. He thinks that we're stupid. He goes down to Texas and says EVs are the greatest thing, but if they're being built by American workers, by an American company in a state like Michigan, he craps all over it. We won't forget. At the same time, J.D. Vance said he wouldn't even support a $500 million investment from the Biden-Harris administration to upgrade factories in Michigan and protecting 650 union auto jobs. J.D. Vance called that table scraps. Table scraps. You talk to any of those 650 union families and ask them how they feel about it, right? That's right. The Biden-Harris administration took action to save hundreds of Michigan auto jobs. J.D. Vance would say no thanks. You can't make this stuff up. Trump failed us once. We cannot let him do it again. No place in America. Yes, you're right. We are not going back. That's all right. Go ahead. No place in America understands better than the Midwest that when a factory leaves, it takes a whole lot with it. It means fewer students in our public schools, fewer first responders, residents, and small businesses. All of us, Republicans, Democrats, and independents, want to bring manufacturing jobs back home so everyone has a path to prosperity. These jobs keep roofs over our heads, food on our tables, and help us pay to make sure that our kids have what they need to be successful. After 4 years of Donald Trump's failures, things finally started changing when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris went into the White House. They worked across the aisle to invest in American industry and Midwest workers. Today, there are more auto workers, more factories getting built, more roads getting fixed, more middle-class jobs than when Trump was president. The Midwest is moving forward thanks to Kamala Harris and leaders like Tim Walz. Say it with me, we're not going back. So, let me just get real for just a second. Look at what's just happened in the last few weeks. 2 devastating hurricanes that cost so many their lives and destroyed communities. In moments of crisis, people expect their leaders to put politics aside and work together to solve problems. Thankfully, that's exactly what President Biden and Vice President Harris are doing. I can tell you, as a governor way far away from the South, we sent the Michigan National Guard down to help with response too, because it's the right thing to do.
That's right.
In a crisis, a leader who asks, was their governor nice enough to me when deciding whether or not to send tests to Vladimir Putin or the states of this country, is not the kind of leader we need. We need leaders who roll up their sleeves and say, what do you need and how can I help you, right? This election, we need to elect a commander-in-chief who has lived a life like ours, who understands what we are going through, who has taken care of a sick parent, who has a running mate who's a teacher and a veteran and someone who to be proud of. We deserve a commander-in-chief who is ready to hit the ground running on day one. Unlike Trump, the first thing that Kamala Harris will ask if any of us is in trouble is, how can I help? What do you need? Are you okay? And where can I support you? That's what Kamala Harris will do as our commander-in-chief. Because if we've learned anything, it's in the next 4 years there will be some crisis of some sort. We know that. We're going to elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz because they're going to show up for us every single day, crisis or not. And when, God forbid, there is, they will have our backs. So, they are just like us. They embody the values of us Midwesterners. The things that we teach our kids here. Tell the truth. Work hard. Get shit done. Yeah. Midwesterners are strong, they are smart, and they are good people, and they deserve no less in their commander-in-chief. The next President of the United States, Kamala Harris, and Vice President Tim Walz will give us exactly that. Yeah. So, Wisconsin, are you ready to do everything we can in the next 3 weeks to make sure we win this thing? All right. Now, please join me in giving a big, warm welcome to your favorite governor and one of my favorite governors, Tony Evers.